Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. You need an orthopedist? Go to Brock. You need a roof? Call Parish. Unique physique, unique aesthetics and wellness. Two great places. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and Bootcock Brothers Premium Cigars. Use the code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. Okay, y'all. Good morning. Hope everybody's week is going great. Almost a game day. It's Thursday. We have football tonight. So good day here. Good day here. I'm glad to have everybody aboard. So a few things to dive into. The initial availability report from the SEC was released on Wednesday night. Paul Mubenga doubtful for LSU. Mubenga's played well, in particular pass protection this year. I know he was maligned a year ago, and look, he was kind of thrust into a really tough spot, right? Remember, Garrett Dellinger gets hurt, Mubenga's got to start the final 5 games of the season, and it wasn't awesome. For Paul Mubenga, his grades in those 5 starts, if you look at 24, here it is, so he went in the A&M game, right? So he graded a 49, then a 43 against Bama, then 45 against Florida, 54 against Vandy, 60 against Oklahoma. So he kept improving. And then this year, he's been one of your best pass blocking offensive linemen. So in the 5 games, his pass blocking grades are 81, 80, 75, 83, and then 62 against Ole Miss. But he'd been really good up until that point. The run blocking grades are the problem and have been. But it looks like you're not going to have Mubenga for Saturdays. He is doubtful, which means you got options here. Is it Cohen Eccles, who's played all of his snaps this year at left guard? Is it DJ Chester, who at one point Brian Kelly said, well, he's the 6th guy in, but hasn't really held the form? Or do you move Karius Kern to guard? You know, you got some options there. So my opinion is I would like to see Kern. He's a big old athletic, physical dude that'll get in your pads and move bodies, and I think they need that on this offensive line. I think he's one of your best 5, so the most talented 5. And I'd like to get him on the field, but we'll see what they like to do if, in fact, Mubenga can't go on Saturday, which it appears that he won't. So, anyway, Aaron Anderson, they said, was questionable, and I think everybody else is either probable or good to go. So, good to go. It'd be all right. It'd be good to go. And Saints were back on the practice field yesterday. Chase Young returned. Cesar Ruiz returned. Surprisingly, he was supposed to be about 4 to 6 weeks was the diagnosis when he sprained that ankle, 4 to 6 weeks. So he missed 1 game and now he's back at practice. So good for him. And Kamara tweaked his ankle yesterday at practice, but Kellen Moore seemed to allude to the fact that it wasn't a big deal. But then again, Chase Young injury wasn't supposed to be a big deal, and it became a big deal. He missed 5 games, so we'll see. But he'd be all right. He'd be good to go. All right, y'all, let's say some good mornings. Please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Glad to have everybody here today. Tiger Poppy, good morning. Beyond the Crown, good morning. Jacob, good morning. 44 degrees in Southwest VA. I was thinking, so next week I'll be in Nashville for LSU Vanderbilt. And I'm curious, are we going to get a cold snap? I don't know what the weather's like up in Nashville right now, but I'm wondering if I might have to pack sleeves. 70 degrees right now in BR. Let's see. Search Nashville. See what it's like in Nashville. Nashville, 52 in Nashville. Wow. Feels like 46. Next Friday, high of 74, low of 55. Yeah, I'll probably be packing a little light jacket for Nashville next week. Okay. Hey, Abner, good morning. Survivor's remorse. I applaud you for how you conducted the interview with Kyron's dad and lawyer. Understandable. The lawyer seemed hostile, like a disconnect with the dad. That's interesting. because I'll have to go back and watch. I haven't gone back and watched it. But being in it, I'll tell you, I didn't have that feeling. And maybe, and you're not the only person to say that, by the way, or some version of that. Um, he and I spoke, Matt Ori, before and after. And a lot of that's off the record, naturally. But my sense is, uh, I don't think he's looking to be in the spotlight. And for that interview, he was not even supposed to speak. Was supposed to have Kenny Lacy on the phone on Monday, and then Matt Ori called me just to sort of vet, see, okay, what did I want to talk about? And I understand, like he doesn't know me and didn't want the conversation to go away that he would compromise their efforts. So I totally respect it. I'm glad he actually called. And so it was his suggestion. He said, I'd rather do it in person and I like to be there. And he didn't want to talk at all. Like he just wanted to be there to make sure Kenny, that we didn't talk about anything that we didn't need to be talking about. So I'm glad he spoke, actually. I'm glad he provided some of the color and context for the conversation. But then again, it's probably just me having been in that conversation. I was more concerned with listening, asking the right question, trying to get what information we could. And I wasn't so much concerned with if he was standoffish. Being in that conversation, I didn't feel that way. But you're not the first person to say that. Hey, Jacob. Also, Mubenga be aight. He'd be aight. He'd be good to go. He'd be good to go. Hey, Craig. Day 3, saying morning, Scone. Good morning, Craig. Good to see you there. Keep coming on back, man. Tiger Diver, good morning. Thomas, good morning. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Started following you because of your honesty, not afraid to say the truth, but your reluctance to acknowledge Nuss' soul struggles is odd. Whether it's because of regression or injury. Wait, his soul struggles? I've acknowledged that they've struggled offensively. But I don't know. But you're saying because of regression or injury. I don't think he's regressed as a player. I think and Nuss was very good in camp. I'm not guessing. Like I saw that with my eyes. My contention is, as I've said often, I think the issues with this offense are not Nussmeier's injury, as a lot of people have said. I think the issues begin with the offensive line and the inability to run the ball at all and at times protect. Like, this isn't hard to figure out, man. Like, if teams are dropping 8, it's going to be harder to throw. So teams are dropping 8, you got to run the ball. It's the same thing flipped during the Miles era, where teams would stack the box with 8. LSU keep running to 8, 9-man boxes because teams are daring you to throw. And you still couldn't do it. It's just an inverted situation. I think it's odd that despite the fact that you with your eyes saw Garrett Nussmeier do all the things physically that he's always done the week before Ole Miss, can't acknowledge those things. Ben, good morning. Tiger Diver, good morning. Should be good to go. The Notorious Zaz, good morning. Patrick Bennett, good morning. Coffee time. Should I go to Mocha Joe's or Latte Larry's? Got to go to Latte Larry's. It's all about the beans. Sun is rising. The birds are singing. Everyone have a great day. Carl the Cat. What up, Carl the Cat? Good morning. Juan, good morning. Thanks for the shout out yesterday on the show. Went back to Supper Club. Service there is top notch. Great place for date night, birthdays, anniversaries, bat mitzvahs. Yes, sir. So I read your text yesterday, Juan, about all the things you ordered when y'all went over the weekend, you and your wife. I'm curious what you got yesterday. Did you change it up or did you stick with the same thing? Supper Club's great, man. It's a one of one. People need to experience it to get it, but it's amazing. Hey, Hey, Brian, good morning from Roanoke. Okay. I think I want to say people have tunnel vision. It makes me mad. People still think Lacey is guilty. Um, i- Brian, I think the the biggest problem I think with all of this, like for example, I've gotten read an email yesterday from a guy who, in so many words, said, "Oh, Matt, if you uh, you know saw your take on the Lacey thing after the state police video, hope you didn't watch it full 11 minutes because if you did and you still feel that way, I can't help you." And I'm like, hold on, I did watch the full. I've watched it all, and this is the problem I think a lot of people have is they haven't consumed all of the evidence. Like I've watched the full 44-minute video with Matt Ori. I watched the full 11-minute video that state police released. Um, I've consumed all of the content. I mean, I spoke with Matt Ori and Kenny Lacey for 30 minutes. I've had a lot of off the record conversations as well. Um, and I think the what a lot of people do is they watch a 30-second clip and draw sweeping conclusions. Um, the thing that I'll continue to say that most people are overlooking is it's you have to reverse engineer the accident to start with the gold truck. So Kyron's passing. Everyone understands this. Like he is speeding, he's passing in a no pass zone. That is objectively true. He is committing moving violations. And so he's in the left lane to pass, get back right. And as he's in the left lane, then he's head on with the gold truck, right? And the Kia Cadenza is behind the gold truck. So Kyron's in the left lane, speeding to get back in his lane, and the gold truck is coming at him. The eyewitness who said it was Dodge Charger, the man driving the 18-wheeler, the woman driving the Kia Cadenza, they both said that the gold truck was stomping on his brakes, which caused the Kia Cadenza to swerve in oncoming traffic and hit Herman Hall, the vehicle carrying Mr. Hall. The gold truck, we know from black box data, forensic data, video, the gold truck never swerves and never hits his brakes. He went right into that parking lot after the wreck. The video shows that. He didn't swerve and he never hit his brakes. So think of it this way. That man we know was going 29 miles an hour. The woman in the Kia Cadenza was going 50. She tells state police, the trooper, she's going the speed limit. She wasn't. We know from black box data she was going 50 miles an hour. So she's going 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. So he's going 29. She's going 50 behind him. She never brakes. She swerves left a half a second before hitting the gold truck. And he never hit his brakes. He never hit his brakes reacting to Kyron. He was just going slow. He was going 29 miles an hour. She was speeding. She was distracted. She came up on him. She swerved left, hit a car head on. Like, that's what happened. It's very obvious that's what happened. And the inability for state police to answer for that trooper trying to lead the driver the goal, and the state trooper having the coercive conversation about, you got to put the green Chargers, that you slammed on your brakes and they locked up. Like, and he says, I never even skid marked. I didn't stop my brakes. Like, you got to answer for that. I mean, and the fact that that man's testimony didn't appear in the report is problematic. And they still haven't answered for that. They keep trying to distract everybody with video of Kyron speeding, which we know he was speeding. Let's see. Reason LSU can't run the ball is because they run a zone read run concept with a running quarterback. The linebackers play downhill. Whenever he goes to handoff, they don't play action either. Yeah, you see, like, the problem with that is then to say that, like, okay, then how was Alabama able to run the football? Ty Simpson's not a running threat. They run zone read concepts. See, the problem with that argument is there's tons of offenses that run zone read concepts without running quarterbacks. Like, that's objectively true. So, no, that's not why LSU can't run the ball. It's about making the right read, where you run an RPO, where you have a run with a pass option. The run isn't there. Like, the reason they can't run the football is because they don't commit to running the football. Like, I can't believe you can't see this. Like, when I've said this a million times, so you know what I'm going to say. Against Ole Miss, they had running plays, consecutive downs twice. They ran the ball in consecutive downs 2 times the entire game. Like, surely, as an intelligent person, you have to understand how that is problematic. That you only ran the ball in consecutive plays twice the whole game. Like, why can't they run the ball? They don't commit to running the ball. It's very obvious. Christian, good morning. Aaron Anderson's the biggest one to me. He's just so reliable. Hopefully he plays. Hey, Zachary, good morning. Jay's on a roll right now. Yep, Jay got another commitment. North Carolina, 6'5", righty and power hitter from North Carolina. Bubba Tatum, morning. Turning the big 4-5 today. All right, Bubba. Happy birthday to you, man. Hope it's an awesome one. Cheers. Hope you get all your hopes and dreams and wishes come true today, man. Happy birthday to you, Bubba. Aaron, good morning. Mark Allen, all week long I've been yelling at my neighbors' chickens. Thomas, day 19. You know what? Let's do it, Thomas. I got to go stop Drew's backpack anyway. Here we go.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
All right. All right, please smash the like button if you would subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. As always, brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing. Had awful weather earlier this week, especially in Tangipahoa Parish. I say it fast like that, Tangipahoa. Because if you don't know if it's Tangipahoa or Tangipahoa, you say Tangipahoa. Do it fast like that. So if you have any issues with your roof, we'd love to help you out. Parishbuilt.com. And tomorrow, free Friday night clinic returns to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Remember, every Friday during the high school football season, any player, cheerleader, dance team member, band member, anybody injured on a football Friday night, Brock will see you for free starting at 9 o'clock at their clinic on Bluebonnet, brortho.com. For more info, brortho.com. Hey, Dale, who do you think are currently the 3 best teams in the SEC in order? Not trying to dodge your question. I just think every team has such major flaws, man. I mean, I still tend to lean toward quarterbacks. If Ty Simpson's playing really, really well, I still give LSU an edge with Nuss because we've seen him do it. All the ones that were preseason, darlings, Lenore Sellers, Arch Lagway, they're all flopping. But I think probably Oklahoma. Answer's probably Oklahoma when Mateer is right. Is probably the best team in the conference right now. If John Mateer's healthy, because he gives you the run pass option. He's been very good at both, and their defense has been outstanding. So, caveat John Mateer being healthy, I'd probably tell you Oklahoma. Bama, LSU right there. But I look at it and I go, man, they're all flawed. I mean, LSU looked terrible against Ole Miss offensively. You know, Bama's run defense is not good. And but for Pavia turning the ball over twice in the red zone, Vanderbilt might win that game. I mean, Vanderbilt goes up 14-0 in that game. It is a dramatically different reality. But he fumbled there at the 10-yard line. They did. He fumbled. I mean, it happened. But I like we always say, winning mass deficiencies. We all saw Bama what Florida State did to him on the ground. I mean, that's my question about LSU going to Tuscaloosa is Bama's clear weakness is their run defense, and LSU can't run the ball. Georgia's got flaws, but Georgia shut out Bama in the second half. For all the praise Bama's getting, Georgia shut them out in the second half. And but for Kirby's brain fart, not kicking the tying field goal in the fourth quarter at the 10-yard line, Georgia probably wins that game. So, that's hard to buy into a team like Missouri just because of their schedule. I mean, they've been impressive. Like on paper, they look great, but what's their best one? Kansas, So let's see this weekend. Missouri gets Bama at home, completely different level of test. Let's find out. I mean, they go play Bama tough, even win the game. We're having a different conversation about Missouri, I completely avoided your question. Who dat Tigers? Good morning. I said before the season it would be week 7, 8 before we all got on the same page. Let's fry some chickens. Good time for it, man. Hey, Brian, good morning. Who do you trust most to block Dylan Stewart? Let's be a huge week. Next few weeks for Brad Davis. Sure. Who do I trust? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, they're going to move Stewart on either side of the line, so it's going to be Adams and Weston Davis. And if he starts getting going, then you'll have to give help with the tight end, which they'll probably do anyway. Bring on the shingle. Suck it, nerds. Hey, Bubba, good morning. Hey, Tanya, good morning. Johnny, good morning. Brian, morning. Morning's going a little earlier today. Nope, it's time we're here every day. So ever since school started with Drew earlier, we start at 6:45 now. So 6:45 to 7:15 is our morning Scone window. Now, I am taking Drew to get his flu shot today at 8:20, so I don't necessarily have to stop right at 7:15, but probably get going here in a little bit. So, hey, Joshua, good morning. It's 49. Okay. Rocky, I guess in Nashville. Okay. Rocky, what's going on? Brad, good morning. Do you know why Oregon State and Washington State haven't joined a Power 4 conference? No one's invited them to join a Power 4 conference. That's the problem. It's your conference expansion only makes sense to the extent that adding the team that you add increases the revenue into the conference enough such that everybody's share increases. Otherwise, you're just adding someone who's taking a piece of the pie without contributing. So they're just not valuable entities. So nobody wants them. Hey, Jalen, good morning. Brian, listen to Shay the other day talking about the running back in the portal. I do go after Trey Holly if his legal situation gets fixed. It feels like that ship has sailed, Brian. I'd never say never. I mean, remember, you did have the, why am I blanking? Running back who went to Oklahoma, then came back. War number 8, I'm blanking. Anyway, all that to say, there have been weird situations like that before. John Emery, portal and came back. So sure, I guess it could happen. It feels like that ship has sailed, though. They're going to need experienced runners, at least one, maybe two out of the portal. Hey, Michael, good morning. Brian, Survivors, LOL, why were they last in running back production when they had the lowest run block win rate in the conference with Jaden Daniels? Weston Weaver, Robbie, good morning. Why do you think the Saints should trade high-priced player? Do you think Saints should trade high-priced players like Kamara, Olave, Cam for draft picks? So, in theory, Robbie, that sounds great. But the thing I tell people all the time when you talk about trading a player, remember, you're not just trading the player, you're also trading the contract. So, who would give you an asset to take on an aging, declining player on an expensive contract? Like, flip it. Would you give, if you were another team, would you give someone an asset for Cam Jordan? Like, at this point in his career where he's just not a very productive player anymore. Olave is maybe different because he is a young guy, but he's got the concussion issues. But Olave hasn't proven that he's a legitimate number one receiver in the NFL. So what would you get for him? I mean, that's one to consider. Kamara's a 30-year-old running back, and he looks good right now, but he's also had a history in his career being injury prone. So, and like if you look at Kamara's contract, for example, Kamara next year, his cap hit is $18.6 million. His dead number is 18.2. So, like, for New Orleans, either way, Alvin Kamara is going to cost $18 million against your cap next year. So would you rather have $18 million for Alvin Kamara on your roster or $18 million for Alvin Kamara not on your roster? That's the problem. Yeah. You want to do Cam Jordan? Do Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan. So, like Cam this year's cap hit's 9.7. His dead number is $28.5 million. On your roster costs you 9.7. Not on your roster costs you 28.5. And then next year is a voidable year for Cam in 2026. So, and then he's got 3 years after that are voided that when they restructured him. So, I mean, this very well could be Cam's last year in New Orleans. I mean, unless if he signs like a 1-year deal to come back next year, but this really could be it. Jalen, need more coffee this morning, Scone. More than coffee. I need a defibrillator. Why? Dustin, good morning. Let's see. South Carolina run game and O-line is worse than LSU's. Hoping for a dominated defensively effort. Sellers makes me nervous. He's a better player than last year. Honest question, survivor's remorse. Have you watched South Carolina this year? I mean, they are terrible. Sellers is terrible. Like, I get your point about he makes you nervous because he's a big 6'3", 240-pound dude who can run. On the season, Lenora Sellers has 48 carries for 98 yards. He's averaging 2 yards a carry. He scored 1 time. In 5 games, he's run for 98 yards. Bro. Now, a big part of that, too, is sack yardage, right? But still. Like, I don't know. You haven't watched him play. And throwing the football, I mean, he will make a wow play, but they're 100th in the country in scoring offense. And 6 of their touchdowns have been non-offensive touchdowns. Like, that is not a good team right now. He is not a good quarterback. Again, good athlete, not a good quarterback. And is certainly not playing better than he did. He's bad last year too, but the second half. Have you, Matt Flynn and Jake, discussed their thoughts on if Nuss is injured? Everybody's discussed their thoughts on if Nuss is injured. I mean, everybody's giving their. It's not a new conversation. Quentin Weston, good morning. At this rate of his yards per game, do you think Nuss would be LSU's leading passer? It is a good question because we talked about it for the season. He was, 3,300 yards away from breaking Tommy Hotson's record. And so he is off that pace now through 5 games. So he needs to pick it up. But the good news is you got 7 games in a bowl game. So at least 8 games to go, hopefully playoffs and more, he'll have the opportunity to do it, but got to get it in gear, man. Bailey, the defense didn't get better in 23. What's the difference with the O this year? No talent on that defense, I guess, right? I mean, that that defense in 2023 was, they were poorly coached, obviously, but yes, I mean, you didn't have pros on that defense. I mean, aside from Harold Perkins, and your defensive line should have been better. Because you had Mekhi Wingo and Mason Smith and Jordan Jefferson. Like, you had some guys that you brought in on the interior, but they kind of went bargain basement, and it just didn't go well. And they missed on all the transfers in the secondary. I mean, that was the problem. It was the pass defense primarily. They missed on everybody. They missed on Deuce Chestnut. They missed on Denver Harris. They missed on J.K. Johnson. They just missed on everybody. This team, the difference is, like, I know Garrett Nussmeier can be a good quarterback. I know Chris Hilton, Aaron Anderson, Xavier Thomas, Nick Anderson, Barry and Brown. Like, I know these are good. Caden Durham rushed for 800 yards a year, but like, I know these are good. The real problem is your offensive line, which some people don't want to acknowledge, but like, that's the unit that needs to improve. Does Kelly's seat get hot if we lose Saturday? I hate to even think we could lose. Well, of course you could lose. I mean, that's the nature of, I think, college football today. I mean, Penn State just lost to UCLA as a 24-point favorite. So yes, of course you could lose. I don't think they will, but can they? Sure. Does the seat get hot? Oh, I think the unrest would be incredible, but they're not firing him this year. Again, they're not going to pay him $50 million to go away. There's not. Hey, Brad, if you're in your career, have you ever covered a story similar to Kyron Lacey's story? It seems people are divided on it and have confirmation bias. Oh, I'd have to give that some thought. I mean, there's tons of stories where people are divided. It's just rare that they involve a tragedy like this, right? Where one person died and the chain of events subsequent led another man to take his life. That part of it is different for sure. Hey, Kelly, good morning. Adam, good morning. Brian, as black male, the situation with Kyron only heightens the distrust of the African American community, law enforcement. Brian, I would say this, man. And I would be very respectful. Number one, I would encourage you not to paint with a broad brush. There are many amazing men and women in all the different areas of law enforcement that protect and serve and give to their communities selflessly, and they're amazing, brave people, and they should be respected and thanked for the job they do. That needs to be said and existed singularly. I would also say they have a very difficult job. When you arrive on the scene of an accident, you weren't there. Remember, none of these troopers or deputies or officers were there for the accident. They arrive after, and they have to try to put together, recreate what happened based on witness testimony, forensic, crash scene evidence, other data, security cam. Like, you're trying to reconstruct what happened. It's not an easy job to do. So you arrive, and here's a man saying, it's a green charge, it's a green charge. He's stomping on brakes, green charge, speeding. And so, like, now you're piecing together that eyewitnesses are telling you it was a green charger. You don't know who's driving that green charger. You just know a green charger was speeding, and they're blaming him. As you start to reconstruct all of the scene, like, there have been so many inconsistencies. It doesn't mean that they did a poor job initially. The problem, singular problem, is the body cam footage where the trooper is And that was, by the way, 5 days after the wreck. Like, if you look at the date on it, that was 5 days after the wreck. When the trooper goes to the man in the gold truck, with the gold truck, goes to his house to get his statement, that was 5 days later. And that interaction and that testimony not being reflected on the police report, that's the thing that has to be answered. And I don't care if you're black or white or where you're from or whatever. Like, that's a question that if there is a sensible answer, we need to hear the answer to that question. Everybody needs to hear the answer to that question. But remember also, Brian, that was a white trooper talking to a black witness, and it was also a black man that was the witness driving the red 18-wheeler, who was the one who initially said it was the Charger, it was the Charger, it was the Charger. So I'm not trying to invalidate your feelings. I'm saying let's respect the fact that the police have an incredibly difficult job to do, and overwhelmingly there are great men and women in law enforcement that protect and serve us. Do they make mistakes? Yes. Are there bad people in law enforcement? Yes. Same with every profession. All that to say, I would just caution you from painting with a broad brush. I mean, like, completely unrelated is like the priest scandal. I mean, what some clergy did was horrific. Does that mean all priests are bad? No. It means there was a few awful people who did heinous things. Deal with that accordingly. Anyway, I don't know if that makes sense, but thought it was worth saying. Hire Coach O for his pregame speeches only. Let's see. If we're going to commit to run line up in the pistol with two tight ends, run straight ahead zone read, I would like to see them run more power. I would. I don't know that it fixes it, but I mean, you did run with a fullback and an H-back one time this year, and Caden Durham ripped off a 51-yard run against Florida. I would like to see it. Dustin, good morning. Go Tigers, 18-wheeler driver in the Astros shirt is the most qualified person to say what happened. He said the Green Charger was causing a problem. I fundamentally disagree with you, Go Tigers. He's not the most qualified person to say what happened. Again, at the time of impact, that man driving the 18-wheeler was 2 cars behind Kyron Lacey. So Kyron in the Green Charger, that man was emotional because he watched Kyron driving recklessly. I don't blame him. And Kyron was driving recklessly. But that man in the 18-wheeler was 2 vehicles behind Kyron, who's 100 yards away from the wreck. And he said 2 things in his statement that are factually inaccurate. Number one, that man said that Kyron split the 2 vehicles, meaning the 2 Kias, the vehicle 2 and the vehicle with Mr. Hall, when he split the vehicles, causing the woman in the Kia Cadenza to swerve and hit Mr. Hall's vehicle. That didn't happen. Kyron was still 72 yards away from the vehicle at times of impact. So that's number one. The most glaring, that's the man who said Kyron split the 2, which did not happen. So a factual inaccuracy. And number 2, he says the gold truck was stomping on his brakes. Another factual inaccuracy. By the way, he's 100 yards away going in the opposite direction. Not behind. Can't see if the gold truck's stomping. 100 yards away from the gold truck, saying that he's stomping on his brakes, which, again, didn't happen. We know that from the man in the gold truck's testimony on the body cam footage. We know that from black box data, which shows he was going just under 29 miles an hour and never stomped on his brakes ever at any point. And we have one of the videos shows briefly, you could see up in the corner of the video, the gold truck. He is at no point stomping on his brakes. So the man in the 18-wheeler is actually not the most qualified person. Someone who is a qualified person is the vehicle who was behind the Kia Cadenza. Remember, gold truck, Kia Cadenza, then there was another vehicle. And I was told that person has been interviewed And we still haven't seen that person's testimony yet either. So, no, that man in the red 18-wheeler and the Astros shirt was emotional, and I don't blame him. He's driving, trying to be safe, and here comes this muscle car speeding, weaving in and out. I get that. But he is not the most qualified person to say what happened. The most qualified person to say what happened is the man in the gold truck who was facing head on with Kyron Lacey's vehicle coming right at him. And he says, I didn't slam on my brakes. I didn't swerve. I didn't skid mark or anything. I wasn't even going that fast. That's the most qualified person. He's the one who was facing Kyron head on and had the Kia behind him. And he says, she almost hit me. And so he went to the right into that parking lot because she almost hit him. Because she was going 50 miles an hour in a 40 and never hit her brakes and swerved left a half a second before she hit the gold truck. Like this seems so obvious. And but again, back to the question Brad asked about confirmation bias. I think people have made up their minds after seeing short clips and they're not willing to budge. But like, this really is pretty easy to see. Correlation doesn't equal causation. Yes, Kyron was speeding and weaving in and out. That's objectively true. No one has ever denied that. We've all seen the video. He's doing that. Is that why the woman in the Kia Cadenza swerved into oncoming traffic? No, she swerved into oncoming traffic to avoid hitting the gold truck. Her contention, 18-wheeler's contention, state police's contention is she'd made that corrective action because gold truck slammed on his brakes to avoid Kyron. That never happened. The man in the gold truck never slammed on his brakes. He never slowed. And he even said by his own testimony, I wasn't going that fast. I didn't slam on my brakes. I didn't skid mark or anything. And he mentions the woman behind him almost hit him, which is true. She was going 50 miles an hour, 10 miles over the speed limit. She was initially ticketed, and then that ticket was rescinded. Like, why was that ticket rescinded? Because if she was at fault, then they can't place the blame on Kyron Lacey. Y'all, this is, and look, maybe some of you just haven't taken the time to dig through all of what's been disclosed. But this is pretty cut and dried. Like, had this case gone to a grand jury, he was not going to be indicted. Anyway. But that's the type of thing, like, this is the type of thing to say, like, this comment is so fundamentally dead wrong. Like, you are being manipulated the way state police in releasing that video was hoping to manipulate you and members of the public by releasing video that showed Kyron Lacey speeding and someone blaming the charger. That's what they wanted in releasing that. And hoping in so doing, you would ignore all the other things that are objectively true, not this man's subjective opinion from 100 yards away. Like, the things that we know objectively from, like, surveillance video, black box data, forensic data, all the stuff that we know to be objectively true. Ignore that. Just listen to this guy yell about the green charger. That's basically what they did. Come on, man. Anyway. And this is the other thing. He said everyone's cell phone data should be. That's the other thing. Like, state police also said that Kyron Lacey called an attorney when he left. If you watch the interview I did with Kenny Lacey and Matt Ory, the attorney was Kyron Lacey's stepdad. And he wasn't calling an attorney. He was calling his stepdad. He was making, Kyron had his brother in the car with him. And they talk every day. He was calling his stepdad. That's it, who happens to be a personal injury attorney. Mason, morning, Matt. Been watching postseason baseball? Of course, man. Watched the Yankee season end last night. Postseason baseball is great. How about the Brewers? Look really good, man. All I know is somebody went off on this. Some bald guy wearing a red shirt went off on that after media days when they voted Lenore Sellers preseason first team all conference. Just saying. Hey, Marrero. Hey, Tim, good morning. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes. Thank you, Trey Bradford. That's what I was thinking of. Hey, Mark, good morning. Love your show. Thank you, man. Or enjoy your show, I guess. Hey, Joe, good morning. God bless. God bless you too. God bless everybody. Hope you all have a great day, man. Yeah, but the Mizzou, so I talked about Mizzou, and the A&M thing is interesting. I just don't know if I trust Marcel Reed, but I'll remind you, like, A&M was my surprise team in the league this year. I picked A&M. This was my preseason order to finish. Now, I whiffed on Texas, but I went LSU, Texas because of their schedule, Georgia, A&M, Bama. I had A&M fourth. So and then I had Missouri fifth because of their schedule, and then Ole Miss. Then Tennessee, South Carolina, Florida, OU. The one I missed badly on was Oklahoma. I think I missed badly on Oklahoma and Texas. I should have inverted those two. Anyway. Okay, y'all. Let me get going. I need to get out of here. I need to get Drew up. I need to get him dressed. Going to get his flu shot here in a little bit. So y'all have an awesome day. I appreciate y'all for being with us. Remember, all of our sponsors are linked in the description on YouTube, tagged on Facebook. Hey, look, I'll be the biggest Missouri fan in the world this weekend. Pulling hard for Eli Drinkwitz. Come on, drink. See, the problem with this, Brian, is Marcel Reed hasn't looked great throwing the football. The reason I liked A&M before the season was they had arguably the best offensive line in the SEC, returning 4 starters, and they have 3 legitimate running backs and a quarterback that acts as another running option. So I thought my pick before the season, which is on record, was that A&M would lead the conference in rushing. And I said, I trust Mike Elko is a really good defensive mind, that they'll be good on defense. So that's why I picked A&M, and I picked them 9-3. I don't know that I undersold them. We'll see. But maybe I did. Maybe they'll be 10-2. Maybe, who knows? Maybe even better than that. But if Marcel Reed does improve throwing the football, which he still looks, it's just inconsistent with Reed throwing the football. But if he can get better and more consistent throwing the football, then yes. The Notre Dame game, he threw for 360, but he was 17 of 37. He completed 45% of his passes. He just hit the big 86-yarder, which you don't take away. He hit that pass, the long catch and run, but that will skew a stat, right? So, and then he only threw for 180 against Mississippi State, 13 of 23. He's had an interception in each of his last 3 games. He's got 11 touchdowns, but 4 of them came in the opener against UTSA. So, didn't have a touchdown against Auburn. So anyway, there's just been some inconsistencies. That's all. Okay, I got to go. I really got to go now. All right, y'all have an awesome day. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Locked on LSU is live, AFR 3. We'll see you.